What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. For this league, we're back on our Rhino boys, but instead of playing our sign package, we're going back to our roots and trying Bant. I'm still sad about the Violent Outburst ban, but Ardent Plea is doing a decent job as a replacement. Since we're forced to play white, we're going a little deeper with this list and playing a set of Solitude on top of the usual Rhinos package. So for this list, we are playing Domain Mana, and then we have 3 Surveil lands. So I love the Surveil lands, at least 2 to 3 for all my decks. So we have Thundering Falls, we have Lush Portico, and we have Meticulous Archive. The main land sequence that you'll see throughout this league is typically Xander's Lounge into Lush Portico, or Lush Portico into Xander's Lounge. That way you can hold up Leyline Binding on turn 2. For the main deck, we have a couple flex spots. We have 3 Tashada's Tidebinder, and then 4 Solitude. So with these spots, you can play Dead Gone, you can play Teferi, Time Raveler, kind of mix and match whatever you prefer in the main deck. For everything else, it's pretty set in stone. For the main deck, we have sets of everything else. So Crashing Footfalls, Force of Negation. We're running 4 Force of Negation. You definitely want to run the set because we're casting Ardent Plea and Charlotte's Agent at sorcery speed, so you want that Force of Negation back up after you pass the turn. We have a set of Subtlety, Fire Ice, Luring Revealed, and Leyline Binding. I do find it funny that we have moved to sorcery speed Cascade, but the rest of our deck is all instant speed, so we're really playing a tempo game when we're not cascading, usually holding up mana, looking to tempo our opponent out. For the sideboard, we have a little bit of everything. We have Inevitable Betrayal. This is an interesting card. It's come and gone through sideboards. Usually bring this in against Reanimator decks or decks with huge creatures that you can kind of steal, Tron, stuff like that. If you do bring this in, you either want to board out all Footfalls, or you can kind of mix and match, but you're probably bringing out just all Footfalls, hoping not to draw this card. We have 2 Disputes for control matchups, 2 Commandeers for Tron, for ring decks, 1 Dismember for removal. We have 3 Endurances for Graveyard Hate, and then we have 3 Artifact and Enchantment Hate with Wear Tear and Force of Vigor. And then lastly, we have 3 Damping Matrix. This is brought in against Yawgmoth and Hardened Scales. So that is Bant Rhinos in Modern. Hopefully we don't draw all our Footfalls like usual. If you're not subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button and let's get in the gameplay. All right, welcome to match 1 on the play. This hand is all lands and a Fire Ice, so we're gonna mulligan this one. All right, this hand's a lot better. We'll keep this. Go back 1 Ardent Plea. Kind of like having Subtlety as like a just in case kind of thing. I don't mind pitching a Cascader, like we already have 2. Ragavan, kind of annoying. We could Subtlety that. I think it's fine. Just like, we're going to take some hits, but it's whatever. Get Xander's Lounge. We don't need to... I mean, we could surveil some stuff. Subtlety. I mean, as long as they don't go hit us, play Blood Moon, I think we're fine. But if they do, then like it sucks. I don't think 1 hit, as long as it's not Blood Moon, is going to kill us. Leyline Binding would have been a good one. Dolthy. We Solitude that. I think we Solitude that. I'm just going to wait till we draw though. Archive. All right, we definitely have to Solitude the Dolthy before we Cascade. All right, we'll play out Breeding Pool. Play Charlotte's Agent. I guess they really didn't know what we were on yet. They just saw Leyline Binding. Cast Footfalls, and then pass. So now our best draws are just all Cascaders. That's how we win this matchup. They have 1 push that they use with a token, and another push. Wow, okay. Hopefully they don't have something for this. And a Bolt. Damn. Okay, well, I guess we kind of 3-for-1 them there, but definitely need a Cascader. Solitude. Okay, that's a good one to get off the top of our deck. Mesa. So instead of, I guess, surveilling, I guess we're just going to flash in Subtlety. All right, they get a Raucous Theater for surveil. They went push, push, bolt. They keep 1 on top. They attack. I mean, I guess we'll ambush it. If they have like a Shieldred or something, then if anything, they probably have like removal for this anyway. Oh, no removal. I mean, they used 3 already. This is like Terminate or the other one. Dolthy. Okay. Ardent Plea. So what sucks is that they can get Rhinos, but I think it's whatever. We have to do this because they're just going to attack through everything anyway. I just wish they would wait a turn and then we could stifle their trigger. Get them for 4. All right. They most likely sack Dolthy. See what else they have for a follow-up. Fable. All right. We have to hold these back or else we lose. That's like the worst draw possible against Scam. I guess we could have attacked all out. They swing in for 10. And that's not lethal. But if they have bolts and stuff, they pitch to land, Ragavan, draw 2. Hopefully they cast a non-creature spell. That would be ideal. Pretty sure we're countering anything that this can counter. They attack with all? No attacks. Lorien Revealed. Let's attack with everything. Should have did this last turn. They're just going to trade. All right, we're going to cast Lorien Revealed. If they have Bowmasters, I'd be so upset. Arid Mesa. Is it worth it to suspend? I don't think we're going to survive that long. Could get a Temple. No, we don't have Temple Garden. We could get... I think this is better just to get a Surveil land at this point. End of turn. Takanuma. See what they get back. Do they get back like a Grief? Probably a Grief. They could take our Charlotte's Agent. Yeah, that sucks. Not looking good. All right, they grief us. Take Shard this. I guess a fire would be good to kill Reflection, or just any Cascader. They get in with a token. All right, hopefully let's surveil something good. Forest, definitely not. It's a land. Flooded Strand, and I guess we pass. Yeah, we're kind of flooded out this game. Even with all the surveils. 6, they copy. We get the item for 6. I think we're dead regardless, even if we find a Cascader at this point. Do they have a bolt? All right, yeah, we're not beating that. Super unlucky. All right, all the force negations out. Dismember, endurance, in. Yeah, we just drew all our bad cards for that matchup, and then we just didn't draw enough Cascaders. All right, on the play, into a no-lander, so we're going to mull this one. God, these hands are terrible. We're going to keep. We can't mull anymore against this kind of deck. Put back Tidebinder. We have our basics at least, but definitely going to need a fetch land. Can lead off on Suspend Footfalls, which in this matchup is pretty good. They're slow enough to where this will resolve. And if they have a Ragavan, we can kill it. Thoughtseize, sure. They take Ardent Play, to be expected. We draw Endurance. Definitely looking for lands. If we can get a fetch land, we can have all, or almost all 4 colors, all 5 colors. If there's like a Dolthy, no play. Rhinos on Suspend. Lorien Revealed. Gonna cycle that. So we don't have white. But even if we get Xander's Lounge, I kind of just want to get white. We can't get double green either. I need to surveil. I need to find a better fetch land. Lorien Revealed. Not really what we want. I'm gonna bottom that. I'm gonna bin that. It's another land, but I'd rather either a Cascader or a guaranteed land. So we got the white, so that way if we could draw Ardent Plea or Charlotte's Agent, we're still good to go. Swamp. They have Blood Moon. All right, they make a token. Do this now. The inevitable Dismember. There's Charlotte's Agent. Good draw. Just need these top decks. As long as they don't have like Shieldred or something, that would be annoying. We need to draw a fetch land to turn on Leyline Binding into Dolthy. Okay. So Footfall is going to come off Suspend. They're going to be able to cast that. There's a land. I mean, it's like fine if they cast it, I guess. We can be diligent about using these. They play another Swamp. All right. They go get some Rhinos. They're not going to survive this turn anyway because we're going to Binding one of them and they can't. It doesn't matter. They crack both Voidwalkers. Wait a second. How are there 2 Footfalls? Is that normal? That's so strange. And they do have the Shieldred. All right, so apparently that's a thing. All right, let's get Xander's Lounge. Okay. So it would go to our graveyard. Okay, so that makes sense. But typically go to our graveyard, but because there was another Dolthy in play. Yeah, never seen that interaction before. All right, so we attack with all Rhinos. They make this trade like usual, or like we would assume. If anything, we got a Charlotte's Agent out of all of this trade. That's pretty much what it comes down to. All right, now we have Subtlety up. All right, no attacks. We draw Bowmasters. Gonna Subtlety that. Let's see what we draw. If we draw, I guess, I don't know. We can't draw anything to kill this, so we're not gonna win this turn, but we're still gonna get in. They put it on the bottom. Draw another Subtlety. All right, the instant block is good for us. It means they don't have any, I don't know what they kept on top then. Maybe they had like, no, they would have 2 Bowmasters. They have to have like a removal spell, I would imagine. Still no double green. Down to 2. Seems like they're gonna scoop this one. This is kind of how the matchup should go. Just kind of like a grind fest. Okay. All right, let's run it back. All right, we're going to keep this hand. It's a 1-lander again, but because we're up against Scam, I think this is fine, especially if they go like try to grief us here. Monkey. Island's good. So we can Suspend turn 1 or get a Xander's Lounge and then fire this, but then suspending is just so awkward. Let's just suspend, I guess. The mana is super awkward here. Really don't want to have to Solitude pitching Binding on this monkey. They're cracking immediately. I don't know what that means. Does that mean they have Blood Moon? They had a Solitude. They do have it. Okay. Pretty annoying. Nothing we can do about it besides definitely going to ice this though. Play a land. Ice the monkey. Draw Charlotte's Agent. Now I wish we got that green source, right? Rhino's still in Suspend. Ardent Play. I mean, I guess we're just gonna Solitude the monkey and try to buy time here because they don't have double black. Solitude the monkey. Maybe they have another one. Hopefully no plays. We just have 0 lands though. Any land lets us play Tidebinder. They do have another monkey. Come on, land. Rhino's still in Suspend. It's a land. We have to play it. We don't have any green sources. Play Tashanas. I'm assuming they have removal. Really don't want to give them the second black source, to be honest. It might almost be better to wait for the trigger to go on the stack. Because if they kill this, they can still... Alright, well that's good. Yeah, that could have been a play to play around removal. Maybe they have the 3rd monkey so they don't care. I'd still use it on that. Unless they just are sitting on pushes and want to save them for Rhinos. Cast Footfalls. There's the pushes. At least 1 push. Another land. Looking for a forest. Or plains. Any basic, honestly. All right, they send it back. Bowmasters. We draw Footfalls. Of course we do. Get them for 4. We just need them to like not have anything, and then we can win the race. They don't have another Bowmasters. They would have cast it already. Another push. Tidebinder. All right, just using this as like ambush Viper. Go Tidebinder, go. Block here. Man, if we would have gotten that forest turn 1, there's a lot of things we could have done. We could have solituded the monkey, but that wouldn't have changed much. Takanuma. Yeah, their draws are just better than ours. They get a Ragavan, so now they can have double black. They get in with Monkey. Subtlety. Misty Rainforest. The damage is already done. Yeah, this would have been just a breeze of a game if we had our basics. They play Dolthy. That's what probably been sitting in their hand. And Fable. Oy. All right. Take a draw step, but we're not getting there. All right. Match 2 on the draw. And we'll keep this hand. We have 3 lands. Cascade, removal, protection, a little bit of everything. Cavern of Souls on Shaman. Into Ignoble Hierarch. Try Hallowed Fountain. I guess we're going to get Binding going. So we'll lead off on Misty, get our Portico, and then get Xander's Lounge. Don't really want to draw any more lands. Carplusion Forest. Really missing Fury right now. Goblin, just this like Storm combo. So we're definitely going to Binding that on our turn. So let's get Lush Portico. Surveil. Another Bindings doesn't hurt against like creature matchup. So let's do this now. It'll at least make like tax their mana a little bit so they can't pop off. Cast Binding. And if anything, we could Solitude the next one if they do happen to cast it. Eat the Goblin. They're not F6, so I don't know if they have like a spell they're waiting to cast. Stomping Ground untapped. 4 mana. What is this? It's not like the One Ring, right? Yeah. I'm gonna force that. Kind of sucks. I don't know what they can Coco into. I don't know what their deck is. So I think it's like safer to do that. All right, play Misty and go. I was almost tempted to let that go and just see what they're on. Unless it's just like legit just all shamans. And this, or it could be like shaman combo or something. Commercial district. See if they have all gas. They keep it on top and get it for 1. Hopefully we can surveil something to the top. Charlie's Agent would be perfect. Get an archive. Fire Ice. I'm going to keep it. It's removal. Play this tapped and then pass. We have Binding. We have Fire Ice. I'm not going to fire this. I don't think I need to. They didn't play anything last turn. They did keep it on top. But if it's another Goblin, we can just fire in response to something. Okay, yeah. Harmonic Prodigy. So we get double triggers. I guess if we were going to Binding this, we should have done it before attacks. I didn't think the Exalt. I wasn't thinking about the Exalted trigger. We could fire this now. I guess we just do that. Whatever. Keep the creature count low. They play Stomping Ground. Probably tapped. Then we'll cast Binding on this end of turn. And then we can hold up Solitude. The fact that that's a 1/3 is annoying. All right. Another land. We will pass. Each of us have 2 cards in hand. I'm assuming that's what they kept on top. That Prodigy. Just do not want to see any more lands. Hopefully they just play like a creature and pass. We'll wait too. Because if they have Coco... Yikes. Suspend that. Probably didn't even know we were on Rhinos. Like we've done, we had Art in play, so they could have guessed. I wonder if they have like an end of turn Coco. No, nothing. Okay. Another land for them. Now we're going to get a Surveil land, our last one. Hopefully something good. Another land. Flooding a lot tonight. Footfalls on suspend. There we go. Finally. Some action. Cast Footfalls. Hopefully they weren't just holding Coco thinking it's going to get countered, maybe. I mean, they main phased it last time, so I can't imagine they have another one, right? Unless they just drew it for turn, they're going to cast it. No, nothing. Okay. Another Harmonic Prodigy into Burning Tree. Double trigger. Let's see what they have. Hopefully not Coco. Rage Forger. They pass the turn. Draw another Ardent Play. So let's just attack with the Rhinos. See how they block. They might just try to trade here. If they do, that's fine. And then we can just... Ardent Play. Interesting. Ardent Play. They only have 1 card in hand, so we're just going to kind of go all out here and just pass the turn. So I'm not sure what gets them out of this. I feel like they'd have to Coco into something ridiculous. All right, and they scoop. Nice. Got another good potential Fury matchup, unfortunately. I mean, we just have Dismember. 1 force for Dismember, I guess. Not sure what they bring in. All right, kind of a weird hand, but we're going to keep it. It has, we can get all 5 colors of mana. We can turn to Suspend. A little awkward, but they play Ignoble Hierarch. Kind of wish we had deads for these. All right, Lush Portico. Looking for lands. Nah, we're going to bottom that. As much as I really, really want that. Because we can cast it next turn. But we're going to get a tap land and suspend anyway. I might actually just... If we don't see a land, we might probably going to just surveil with this actually. Spikefield tapped into Burning Tree. Sure. Into Ignoble. I want Fury so bad. That would just be game right here. All right, opponent just passes. They're going to be hitting for 4. We draw, suspend. All right, this will get a Xander's Lounge, I guess, just because we drew the untapped land. And if we have to, we can subtlety something, pitching Fire and Ice. They're going to Coco. Man, we don't have the force for that. It's so greedy of them to Coco main phase like that. Maybe we get lucky and they don't hit anything good. Wow, they hit really well. Get Eternal Witness and Goblin, Arachnomancer, and then they get Coco back to hand into Harmonic Prodigy. Beating this even even with our potential draw, like the Cocos are just going to be nuts. So many triggers. It's a 6/6. Yikes. Maybe we draw Force. All right, we'll slam Rhinos and hope it's good enough. They're definitely going to Coco on their turn and try to like hit something insane. All right, here's Coco. Come on, whiff, whiff, whiff. They overtapped. I forgot about Goblin. No. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're going to get there. They got to do their thing this game. We can actually subtlety that finally. I don't think it's going to matter though. We'll be on the play next game and then hopefully we get bindings and all that stuff. Too much going on. We'll scoop to that. All right, on the play this time. Maybe we do keep a Force. Force is only good against Coco, but Coco is just like the main way they win the game. We have Fire for their Dork. We don't have any red sources, but it's fine. Not going to throw this back. Going to hope to get a fetch land. Play this tap pass. We have Force. We can like Force pitch Ice if we need to. Xander's Lounge. Tap land's good for us. Let's Ice their land so they can't play a 2-drop. And then maybe we can draw a red source or draw something for Force. Another. Okay, there you go. So now we have Force covered. We have all our Cascaders. They have no second land. Wow. And to clean up. They kept a 1-lander. Their hand must be insane if they were to do that. Play Charlotte's Agent. Yeah, they're not going to win then. That's just like a death sentence against us. Especially with this backup, Force backup. If they miss on their land drop this time, they're just going to scoop and they concede. Yeah. Keeping a 1-lander, risky. 1-lander and no mana dork. All right, game 3. And this hand looks pretty good. We have 3 lands. We have Footfalls, a couple Cascaders. We're going to keep this. We do have 2 tap lands. They don't tap for green. Okay, well, they're going to Thoughtseize, take an Ardent Play. Kind of awkward because we don't have green to suspend on turn 1. And then if we get a Temple Garden with this, that's probably what we're going to do. We're going to get a Temple Garden with this, and then hopefully we just draw into a 3rd land. So we'll get Playered Mesa, Shotgun Temple Garden. I'm not sure what this is. If it's a basic swamp, it could be like Cabal, Coffers, something. So we'll just suspend Rhinos and pass. All right, so it is mono black. Field of Ruin's pretty good against us also. They're going to cling our land immediately and draw a card. And then cycle Troll. We are looking for that untapped land so we can Ardent Play on turn 3. Okay, we did find it. So I guess we Meticulous Archive here. Here we can bottom a land. We could top it so that way we have Subtlety mana. We're going to have 4 lands anyway. Let's just bottom this and then we'll pass. What's probably going to end up happening is we're going to cast Ardent Plea. They're going to play Karn. And we're going to have to Subtlety it. 2 mana. This is like, that's another reason not to play out Xander's Lounge. So get blue here. Get an island. Hopefully they don't have any more Field of Ruins because that gets really annoying. All right, they only have 1 black source open. Probably a push. All right, we have the Leyline Bindings, and when we play Xander's Lounge, we'll have that open as well. Definitely going to shock something in here. We're not really losing to life loss for the most part. All right, and here we're going to get a Hallowed Fountain, get that double blue, and then we don't want to get our basics because they do run Field of Ruin, so this is just going to be an easy Ardent Play. What's fun about casting this now is if they have Damnation, they will get to clear all our tokens, but like not, they're gonna have to take a hit here if they don't have like Fatal Push here. So it wouldn't surprise me if they had Fatal Push, but apparently they don't. They're gonna field or they're gonna cast Karn. Okay, so they do have the Fatal Push. I guess they just drew it for turn or else they would have cast it. And then it looks like they're gonna field us. Oh, just Edict. Okay. But they chose non-token creature and they said misclick. All right, well that helps us out a little bit. Now we have Exalted. We draw Footfalls. Not ideal. We'll get in with for 5. Exalted. See if they have another. They probably don't because they would have used it. So they know we have Tidebinder. We're going to play this tapped. We could suspend Footfalls or we can hold up Tidebinder. I think we're going to hold up Tidebinder. They know about Tidebinder, but kind of awkward because this is just going to rot in our hand for a turn. Okay, they do play the One Ring. So we can Tidebinder this and then they can, do we want to Tidebinder to the protection or the draw? I think we want to Tidebinder, we're going to Tidebinder the protection because they're going to draw in response most likely. Wow, they didn't draw in response unless they have removal for this. So it was really nice holding up Tidebinder there. Really rewarded. Rhinos come off suspend this turn. So it's going to suck as if they have Damnation. Draw land. This will be a Surveil land. We will get in for 8. So the only thing that gets them out of this is either another ring for protection or Damnation. They like 100% have it, right? Wow, they had nothing. That's awesome. Yeah, so they could have had another ring there. They could have had Damnation. They could have had a lot of things. Against mono black, what we're assuming is Coffers. In terms of artifacts, all they really have are like the ring. I think we bring in these 3 and then take out. Solitude can be nice against Shieldred. Tidebinder is good against Shieldred. Fire. All our cards are pretty decent. Still not liking Solitude too much, so I definitely want to bring these 3 in. I'm going to take out 3 Solitude. They only have a couple creatures, and then we can Binding or Dismember them anyway. Solitude's not really going to be doing too much. And then Commandeer for the ring. All right, on the draw with this hand, we have all our lands that we need. We can surveil, and this is just a good medium top end. So I think we're going to keep this, especially against a Thoughtseize deck. You don't really want to be mulliganing, and this is just a fine hand. We're going to be, this deck sets up on the early turns anyway, so it's totally fine. Swamp into nothing. Love to see that. Draw a basic. We don't want to draw basics. We'll play Xander's Lounge and pass. This can of course get Field of Ruin, which would be annoying, but it's not the worst because we have 2 other basics. And there's the field. There's a force, surveil. And of course, if they're Field of Ruining us, then it's because they're going to be fielding us. I kind of want to keep lands on top. Also, if they field us, whatever we do, they're just going to like get rid of it anyway. So maybe it wasn't a good idea to play falls, but maybe this will make them do it anyway because they'll think like, oh, we need to do that. Bowmasters, okay. So I guess if I'm them, you play Swamp and then you just field Xander's Lounge. All right, 2. All right, that's what they decide to do. Can't do anything about that. Get the Forest. They get in for 2. Next turn we do get the Ardent Plea, which is sweet. And then if they field this, it's kind of whatever. We're just putting the pressure on right on top. We were going to just draw it anyway. What's nice is that we have Force for Damnation as well. Fatal Push. Oh, cycle. And again, if they're just spending their turn fielding our lands, totally fine with that. 4 mana. All right, we're going to have to... And then what's cool is we can hold Tidebinder up to counter one of their fields, or we can hold it up for like Shieldred triggers. We just have a lot of options. Get in for 8, what we assume. I guess honestly, if they field us, we're not going to Tashawn Izzet. There's no reason to. I feel like they have Damnation. 5 mana. Is this that weird board wipe, or is it the life gain one? Kill a Rhino? Yeah, March. Yeah, we get marched. They get in for 2. All right. We're definitely winning this race. Get our Surveil land. Hopefully draw some more Rhinos. And get Archive here. Doesn't really matter too much because we have 2 more fetch lands. Easy keep. Play land. Play Ardent Plea so that way we get double Exalted. Now they need to draw Damnation here. Unfortunately, we don't have the counterspell to double Exalted, hit for 6, down to 10 for them, and then we'll just pass back. So yeah, Damnation is their way out. They draw Coffers. This could be Karn also. Karn doesn't do it. Karn, they could get Bridge, but then we just binding the Bridge and win. They could Karn for EE, but if they wait, we can Tidebinder it. All right, they do have Karn. They activate Karn. Let's see what they get. EE is probably the obvious choice. Maybe they brought it in. All right, they did not bring it in. So if they play it and don't pop it immediately, oh, they're going to pop it immediately. All right, they get in for 1. Maybe we can surveil more Rhinos to the top. They only have 1 card in hand, which is sweet. Get another surveil land, our last one. Subtlety. How do we feel about Subtlety? Pretty slow, right? We're going to bend that. The land, not what we want to see. We're just going to pass, and then I guess I'd binder this when they activate, because I want to get a creature on the field, especially with these 2 Ardent Pleas. They play another land and see what they play, unless they're going to start just fielding us. We have our 2 basics already, so they could... Okay, they activate Karn. So we're going to use our like non-basics to cast this, so that way if they do field us, it's kind of whatever. Cast Tidebinder. Hoping they don't have a Fatal Push. I think they're just going to start nuking our lands, though. All right, there goes 1. Get our last basic. But they used both demolition fields to do it. Karavac, the Punisher. Whenever you commit a crime, exile up to 1 target back up from your graveyard and copy it. You may cast the copy. If you do, you lose 2 life. All right, well, that's the last card they drew. Or that's the last card in their hand. Do we just binding this whenever you commit a crime? Nah, I'm just going to pass. Oh, man. These draws have been pretty awful. We'll attack them, see if they want to like double block or something. All right, they do double block. I think we want to kill the Karavac, get rid of the Bowmasters, kill the Karavac, and then I guess pass. We just really need to draw non-lands. We're both on top deck mode, and I think they top deck a little better because they have all the mana in the world and more high end. They have the Karn. They could draw Karn, they can draw the One Ring. Maybe they just field us forever. Kind of awkward. I'm just going to keep up this fetch land for something. What did they draw? They drew Shieldred. What a top deck. All right. Yeah, it's a thing. Draw Fire Ice. I want to ice and get in because I also want to draw a card. Ice Shieldred. We do take 2. Play a land. Attack for 5. Put them down to 5. They're going to go back up to 7. Then we have Subtlety, but like, I don't think we're going to get there. This was like the best thing they could have drawn besides like another Karn. Did they draw another action spell? Are they fielding? Oh, they could field this. They drew something. Yeah, we just flooded way too hard. Like we stop at 5 lands. The fact that we drew like 8 lands, they drew March. All right, they get in. Go to 4. Yeah, we can't win this. Karn's activated again. Pretty unfortunate. All right, let's try again. On the play this time. We have 3 lands. We have Fire Ice, Ardent Plea. This is solid. Can kind of tempo them out a little bit. They have Thoughtseize to take Ardent Plea. We still have the Ices to draw us into things. Just the Field of Ruins are really annoying. Don't want to draw any basics. So we go Misty Go. They don't have the Thoughtseize. That's nice. Get Xander's Lounge. If they have Field, they're definitely going to hit this, but it's whatever. We're going to have a great curve. The only thing I'm worried about is Damnation always. But we have 2 Ardent Pleas at least. Draw a Tidebinder, not bad. There's a Field. Draw Shardless Agent. So we have a lot of Cascaders. Get Hallowed Fountain. We'll lead off on Shardless first, because it's the most damage. Almost right on top. Play Swamp. Do they have... Are they going to field us or are they going to push? Okay. I like to see pushes. That means Damnation isn't too close. Double push. Okay. That makes me feel a lot better. So we just... Oh my gosh. We just like 3 for 1 them. Or 2 for 1? 3 for 1? I don't know. Let's get our our Exalted Plea going. So now Shardless swings in for 3. I'm trying to think of what... Like, we don't want to see... I would take a Shieldred over... I don't want to see anything... I don't want to see a Ring or a Karn here. Karn, I guess the Ring is the most annoying because it gives protection. We have so many answers for it, but they're taking their time. So I feel like they have a lot of different plays they could be making right now. 4 mana. Okay, it is Karn. Let's see what they get. They get EE. They play EE. All right, that's fine with us. We can Tidebinder that. Kill Karn. Hit them for 6. I kind of want lands to... All right, that's going to be good for Shieldred. A little late. We would have done this to Karn. So Karn, them, Karn, them. All right, Karn down. And we're just going to pass. We're going to hold up Tidebinder. We have Subtlety. We have so much to pitch. They have a million mana, though. That's kind of the annoying part. All right, they pop EE. Yeah, we're going to have to Tidebinder that. They can still cast something big, but hopefully we can just Subtlety it. We don't want it to be the Ring. That's the only thing we can't Subtlety. And then they just lose, right? So they're going to kill this, I guess. March of Wretched Sorrows for 4. Doesn't matter. They're still going to go to 5. And then if we draw a land, they're like almost dead. All right, they just pass back. I'd love good land. Okay, cool. So now we can like hard cast Subtlety. I mean, we have hard cast Subtlety. We have pitch Subtlety, hold up Leyline Binding. We have double fire. You know what's cool? Actually, you know what we should do? We can we can ice Coffers at their upkeep, so that way they don't get the mana. As long as they don't have another one. I'm fine with doing that. The opponent thought that when they killed the Tidebinder, the trigger wouldn't work, but I think that only works for like Kavu or like permanents like that. And we're gonna ice Coffers, draw another Ardent Play. So if they tap out, they only have 4 mana now because we did this. So the only thing that saves them is the One Ring, which we can, come on, what is this? Troll. Okay, into Bloodchief's Thirst. We're just gonna ice the Troll, I guess. Maybe they have something, I don't know. We draw Footfalls, not surprised. Tashana is pretty decent. Swinging for lethal, and we concede. All right, love it, love it, love it. All right, match 4 on the play. And this hand looks like a solid keep. Of course, we have Rhinos on turn 1. Up against Lutri. So let's go get a Temple Garden, suspend Footfalls, and then pass. We can cycle Alluring Revealed, go get Xander's Lounge, Spire Bluff Bridge tapped. Okay. You never know what you're going to get out of the Lutri decks. So let's do this. I want to cycle now just in case they have something weird that we don't know about. We have to get an untapped land. What sucks is that... Oh, no, this can still get Xander's Lounge. We still have to get an untapped land, though. We'll get an island. This will get a Xander's Lounge, and then we can go island and then just cast all our spells. What's nice is that we do have force backup after the fact. But again, they could just play anything. Scalding Tarn, crack Scalding Tarn. They just get island, go. We'll go get our Xander's Lounge. I was like almost tempted to fetch before they did all that, just in case they do have something like Shadow of a Doubt or something, which it wouldn't surprise me. Draw another basic. We're gonna play Shardless Agent first, because if it gets countered, we still get the Shardless Agent. Let's see if they have Counterspell or Spell Pierce in there. I was not expecting that to resolve, I'll be honest. End of turn, they have to do something. They crack this. Petty Theft. Okay. That makes sense. We will take that. Play another Silver Bluff into Flame Slash. Okay. We're not going to force those. We don't mind. They're just using all of their cards to... This is going to be annoying, I think, but it's whatever. All right, we'll play Flooded Strand. Because they're tapped out, and because we have one attacker, we're just going to play the Ardent Plea, so that way we get the Exalted trigger. All right, so now we do get to get in for 3. Exalted. This will probably get a Meticulous Archive. Wow, and they just scoop. Okay. Guess they couldn't handle the pressure. Get to bring in a lot of sideboard cards. By a lot, I mean not that many. Like, these are ones I'm considering. I think Subtlety's pretty weak. I think Solitude's pretty weak in this matchup. Definitely want Disputes, some Endurances. Don't think we want Commandeer. I think that's a little too cute. I think everything else is fine. Solitude, we don't even know what creatures they have, to be honest. Subtlety might be better against that. We'll try the 2-2 split for now. They're going to be running like Snapcaster and stuff too, so maybe Endurances are better. Let's go 3 Endurance. All right, this is 5 lands with Fire Knights, Tashanas. They are a control deck, so we can be patient. I think I'm going to keep. We have the Surveil lands. They're going to be slow. Island Go. I like that. Binding's decent. I think we'll play Misty Go. This will get a Xander's Lounge. You can always lure in Revealed for red, or for just any other land. There's a Saga. That's going to be kind of annoying. Just get a Xander's Lounge. What we can actually do is ice the Saga, so that way they can't tap it for to make a construct. And then we can also Tidebinder it as well if necessary. Force of Negation's pretty good pickup. So we'll set an upkeep stop. Ice the Saga. You could also ice the island. Maybe that's probably smarter, so take them off blue because they're going to need the mana anyway. So it's definitely smarter to ice the island there. All right, they just play a land and pass. We would love to draw a Cascade off the top. We do not. We're not that lucky. However, we will maybe just Tidebinder. Let's see what they do. See if they make a construct. I'm not sure if I want to. So they're going to float. They're going to make a construct. Okay. We could Tidebinder either the construct to make. That'd be a 2-2. I think we're going to just get rid of the construct. Because if they get Subtlety, wow. They Subtlety Tashanas. I'm going to bottom that. That's kind of sad. So they get the construct and they get the search. I wonder if they're going to get a Shadow Sphere. They get a Spell Bomb and a Mountain. Wow, Ragavan's really annoying. I'd love to draw a Charlottes off the top. No, another land. Just flooding out a little bit. We're going to Flooded Strand, I guess, get a Plains. Plains, hold up, Tidebinder. So we can bind this and then block that. Or we could bind this and go to block this and then they just bounce it. I think we have to bind this because if they bounce it before it blocks, then Ragavan still gets a hit. And they only have 1, so it's whatever. Do we let them get the hit? Cast Binding. See if this even resolves. Binding the construct. Yeah, I think we're just going to cash this in. We could also bounce Ragavan if they want. And Holy Heat. I think that's fine. All right, so we were never blocking that. We could force that, but I really don't want to fight over that. Okay, cool. They hit a land off the top for us. That's nice. Another land. We have all our basics. Honestly, we're just desperation mood. Please don't counter this. That sucks. All right. I guess the only way we lose is if we just flood. Like, every game we've lost, we've just flooded so hard. It also feels worse when you get countered by, like, the 1 of deck. It's like, of course, they have the Spell Pierce and Shadow Spear. 3-2 Monkey. We'd love like a Fire, a Leyline Binding. They had another land off the top. Like, look how hard we're flooding. They've hit 2 lands and we've drawn Cleansing Wildfire. We have all our basics. Okay. So at least we know not to get our basics. What a top deck. All right. All is redeemed. Like, they can Spellbomb 1, but play the Surveil land. Another land to the bottom. To the bin. I mean, we've drawn enough lands. The rest of our deck is just gas. They can bounce a Rhino to let this go. Control 3 or more artifacts, which they do. Definitely going to need a binding for this. All right, we'll take it. So they can bounce 1. If we attack with both, they wouldn't return this to hand, right? Let's attack with both. There's no way they bounce this back to hand and to get in with Monkey. They're just going to crack this now, probably. Oh, this is non-land. Oh, no. Oh, that's so annoying. Oh no. Yeah, this can't target this. Do they get a free block on this? Oh, that's terrible. Guess we do need to bring in some artifact hate. I mean, we can't kill this, but some artifacts? Like maybe 1 force. They have Sagas. I guess it's more of like a blue-red artifact focused deck. Oh man. Well, we can counter this at least. They're drawing all their Ensoul cards. They get in for 4. Yeah, the only way we beat this is with ice. They can just bounce the Rhino. I don't think we're getting there. Wow, we do to draw the ice, but it's not going to matter. It'll buy us a turn. I'm assuming they bounce us. And ice this. We should also ice this at upkeep before they draw, because they could just draw. Consider that. They could look through our deck and stuff. A little flooded there. We have Wear Tears. Subtlety's still not that good. Now Solitude's looking better because it can exile. Subtlety, I think, can come out. Dismember's actually decent. Endurance, not so much anymore. Wear Tear in. Oh, Force of Vigor. I kind of want Force of Vigor, to be honest. Endurance just not that good. All right, on the play. We would have been fine if we actually drew Cascaders out of that game. They have Test of Talents for Rhinos, which is pretty awkward. This is a fantastic hand minus no land, so we're going to have them all. This is good enough. Put back Tashanas. Play Flooded Strand. Suspend Rhinos. Hopefully they just play Ragavan turn 1. Well, I guess maybe not, because then we can't kill it. Ragavan turn 2, we'd like. Or if we draw a fetch land. Opponent kept 7. Island. Black Staff of Waterdeep. Yeah, so they are like an artifact reanimator automation deck. So let's play Xander's Lounge. We can keep up Leyline Binding, I think is fine. And then if we draw a 3 mana spell to cast, we can play Misty. If not, we can just Surveil. Oh, there's a Saga. Yeah, we definitely would love to draw like Wear Tear next turn. Wear Tear both of these. All right, let's just Binding this. Cancel Rise and Shine. Tashana's Tidebinder. So we're just going to do the thing again. We're going to Surveil. We'll keep that on top. I don't mind playing the control game a little bit. And then we can Ice the Island, which is what we should have did last game. But draw the Dispute that we knew about. So now we have Tidebinder and Dispute both up for next turn. And now if they do the same play last time when we Tidebinder, we can Dispute the Subtlety. That would be the ideal scenario. They play Needle. I don't know what they're going to name. Are you kidding me? They name Misty. I mean, that's such a bad card against us, and then it just happens to work out. So funny. I mean, we're going to play it. That's such crap. All right, so let's see if they do the same play. And unfortunately, we can't counter it now because they just happened to name Misty. Could have been Scalding Tarn. Maybe they'll float and we can counter something. They keep messing up the triggers. They're not waiting for the second trigger to go on the stack. So they keep tapping this before the construct can be made. They're going to float. If they're just going to float, I'm going to let it go. They could get another Aether Spell Bomb. The Shotgun Steam Vents. They're going to play something we can counter. Stone Rain. Definitely not. See if they have the one of Spell Pierce. All right, good counter for us. Need some Rhinos. Coming off Suspend this turn. Draw Lorien Revealed. We will Island Cycle. We could Surveil, but I kind of want to keep Tidebinder up now. Just going to get an Island. Unsuspecting Island here. Most likely going to bounce a Rhino at the end of turn. And then we can Tidebinder it. Wow, they scooped that. Dude, Tidebinder's so good. I miss it in the Scion builds. All right, welcome to the final match. This is a 1-lander with no Cascaders, a little too reactive, so we're going to mull this one. This hand has a little bit of everything, so we're going to keep. We have removal, we have at least one Cascade. We'll throw back the Forest and lead off on Xander's Lounge and pass. Probably the better play there would be to fetch Lush Portico so we can get the Surveil and then play this tab so that way we have access to Leyline Binding. So that was kind of a missequence for us. The only reason that would be worse is if we draw like a Fire Ice and we want to keep up 2 mana. Force Negation. So we'll play the Mesa, we'll pass. If we want to activate Leyline Binding, we have to get the Temple Garden. If we don't care, we'll just get the Lush Portico. They crack Scalding Tarn. Thundering Falls. So this could either be a Mirror or it's Murktide, most likely. They keep a card on top. Usually they have a turn 1 play, like Preordain, Ragavan, DRC, Bauble. All right, they just do nothing. So we can get the Lush Portico now. So the question is, do we play Ardent Plea into their 2-mana counterspell? Force, we don't want to force right now. Island, I think we can just take it slow. Like maybe we keep that Force on top, but like Force into Murktide, that's like one of the first cards we board out. They just do nothing. We don't mind making our land drops kind of get an overwhelming board sense, if possible. Make them act first. We have Leyline Binding if they want to play creatures. 2 mana. Ooh, Goblin Electromancer. Love to see that. That is a binding target. Is this Storm with Thundering Falls? That's an upgrade. Do they counter this? Do they have a counter? There's no way. So if nothing happens, Remand. Okay, that's fair. We know they play Remand. We could Surveil here, play Ardent Plea, and then Leyline Binding it. I think I want to be aggressive. Like, I think we're fine to do this. Like, I want to cast Leyline Binding again, and I want to hold up the other Leyline Binding as well with Ardent Plea without this on the field. That's definitely the safer play, especially because if they play another one, we're just like screwed. All right, we're gonna play Ardent Plea. Cast Ardent Plea. Cast Rhinos. Moran's such a beating against Rhinos too. So fortunately, we got that out of the way. At least one of them, and then we'll pass. So now we have Force and Negation up. We have Leyline Binding up. Sitting pretty. Of course, they can just win on the spot, but hopefully not. Not without a Mana Dork or a, see if they cast a spell. They go like Metamorphosis or something. I love seeing Storm though. This is pretty sweet. They are going to cast a spell. Cast Leyline Binding. They cast Pyretic Ritual. We'll let that resolve. They have 3 red mana, so they can't get blue mana now. Like they can Metamorph. Yeah, say it's wasted. They could Metamorphose, but it's like not worth it for them because they were going to try to Gifts that turn, I believe. But now we have Force up, Fire Ice. Okay. So we attack for 8. Next turn we can Force, Pitch Ice, Flash in Tidebinder for the win. Hopefully they don't have another Brawl. If they have an Electromancer, that's good for us. They just do nothing. All right, we're not going to do anything either. We could fire end of turn, but they definitely have like Repeal or something. Nothing. Okay, we're just gonna do nothing. End of turn Gifts, Otawara, Pyretic Ritual. Let's just force that now. Once they like tap more mana, like this is fine to force because it forces them to use more mana and then we can just fire them in response. All right, they just concede. I don't know how they could have gotten out of this, to be honest. All right, against Storm, we have Endurance, we have Dismember, we have Mystical Dispute. What is not good? Tidebinder, not that good. Solitude, Solitude just hits like the dudes. Subtlety also hits the dudes. If we go like this, we got like 3 Solitude. We need something for Blood Moon maybe. Take out all the Solitudes. Bring in 1 Wear Tear. Because they could have Blood Moon, they could have Ario Flame. All right, this is kind of a weird hand. We don't have endurances. We don't have any graveyard stuff. This kills dorks. And then we have surveils into cascaders. We have removal, but no basics. Very dork kill hand. They kept 7 also. I'm gonna mulligan this. I think we can do better. We have disputes also. Subtlety. I mean, I guess we'll keep this, put back a subtlety. This isn't the greatest hand. I'm not sure which one I would have liked better. I mean, if they get a game, they take a game, but I think this is like a fine 6. They top bottom, draw Misty. I'll play Misty, pass. I'm contemplating getting blue. Man, this is tough too, because if they have Blood Moon, they could Blood Moon us out if we don't get basics, but then we were never casting Leyline Binding. But we can get blue-white here for Ardent Play. All right, they kept the... Oh, I thought I was going to say, did they keep a 1-lander? Electromancer. God, this is going to be so awkward. We'll get Xander's Lounge here. We can't like really play around Blood Moon. This can get an this will just get a plains. Fire this. That way we can cast Binding eventually on the Blood Moon. Not ideal that we have to play around Blood Moon, but I think it's safe because if they just go Blood Moon this turn, we're just screwed. Another Electromancer with 1 mana up. Probably Remand. Let's have it their upkeep. Cast Binding. They did have the Remand, we assumed. Gonna let that go because we have the Dispute. Other core spells cost enough mana to where even this won't get through Dispute, hopefully. Like they could just gifts here maybe. Baral. We let this go. No, I'm not gonna let this go. They could Remand it again, I guess, but that's fine. Okay, they don't. Maybe they hold it up for this one again. We'd love to draw a land so that we can get another white source. All right, we'll make the same play. And again, we're doing this at their upkeep because they could Remand. If they have Remand, they can just use it on our turn and then untap with full mana. They do cast gifts. Sucks we don't have any pressure. It's tough too because I really don't want to subtlety this. Subtlety, the Baral, keep dispute up. Then we can dispute gifts, but then we just have the no pressure. But not making land drops is also really bad because now we just have 0 pressure anyway. We needed force the negations is what we really needed. So that way we could play Ardent Play, force their gifts, and then just keep the pressure up. All right, they do find the Blood Moon. So we have to put 2 cards in the graveyard. We can put Blood Moon and I think we're going to put these in the yard. So they do have Echoing Truth for our Rhinos, but it's fine. We maybe could have gave them the case and then we could Leyline Binding that and then kill that. Thundering Falls. Keep a land on top. So we know they have Goblin Electromancer, Echoing Truth. If we play Ardent Play, we tap out. I think we can't tap out, even though we have to force that Echoing Truth at some point. Maybe we can draw a force to counter it. Oh, I guess they could bounce Binding, right? Is that a thing they can do? Oh, they could. Yeah, they can cast. They could do Binding. I didn't even think about that. So maybe we could cast that and force them to do the Rhinos instead of Leyline Binding. I wonder if they try to Echoing Truth that now, because then we still have fire plus Leyline Binding on both of them. Another gifts. We don't have anything for the graveyard, so it's so rough. I think we just lose because we just can't interact here. We put Past and Flames in the graveyard for sure. And then Desperate Ritual. We need to draw like an Endurance ASAP. All right, we're gonna fire this. Oh, we knew this was on top. Maybe we shouldn't have kept that. We also didn't know they were going to gifts though. Thought we had more time. I guess we'll cast Ardent Play. We need some pressure. I think we just lose anyway. Like, so they cast for 5 mana, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's like all their mana. But they could also go like land, Echoing Truth, Leyline Binding, try to Manamorphose. Or they can Manamorphose for 1 mana before we Leyline Binding it. All right, they do draw the land. Not looking good for us. See if they do what we assume they're going to do. Echoing Truth this, and then cast Piff? Or no, and then cast Manamorphose into Piff? I don't know. Do they have enough mana for all that? I don't think so. So that happens. We get our Binding back anyway. So they get 1 turn that they can pop off, and then we just cast Binding again, and then we can't Binding again. If they Remand this, oh, Desperate Ritual. They're going to let this resolve, and then cast Piff, and then just kind of pop off from there. They have 7 mana. Cast Piff, go down to 2 mana, and then they have 2 floating. So they have 4 mana total, and then they can just win from there, I think. We'll come back when they're done. All right, they got there. Definitely going to need to draw better this game. We have 3 Endurances. We have Dismember for their Goblins. Let's try again on the play this time. No Endurances, but we have pressure, we have removal. I think we can keep this. Definitely going to play Xander's Lounge into Flooded Strand to turn 2 kill their thing, I think. Again, if they do nothing, we can Lush Portico. If not, we'll just Temple Garden. Unfortunately, we can't play around Blood Moon this turn, or this game. So if they have it, we're kind of boned. We'll see. This could always get a Plains for Leyline Binding. Draw Ardent Play. Don't want any more Cascaders. We want Force of Negation. We want Endurance. They play an island. We're going to have to Surveil because we need a land. We could kill this theoretically. I think we're going to actually Subtlety that. All right, that's a land. Keep that on top. We're going to Subtlety, pitch Ardent Play. Because that way we can go shardless, apply some pressure, hopefully draw a Dispute after our next turn, or Force of Negation, or Endurance. We have so many good draws. All right, play Boseiju, cast Shardless Agent. So even if they have Echoing Truth, we still get Shardless Agent, then we can do another Shardless Agent. If they just go, like we have removal for Baral, we have more removal. We should be sitting pretty as long as they can't pop off, or they don't, if they Blood Moon us, they don't, if they're stuck on 2 lands, that would be incredible. They keep doing that. I think they keep playing their land second main, and it's teasing me. Tap land. Echoing Truth? Baral. Okay. We're fine with that. Wear Tear. Let's cast Leyline Binding. Get in for 10. And then we have Fire Ice. Notably, we don't have white for if they play Blood Moon, but if they play Blood Moon, they just lose. So we're just looking to fire one of their things. We could ice a land, put them to 3 mana. That could be good enough. They got a Metamorphose here. Goblin Electromancer. That's not good enough. If they just have Remand, if they're just trying to like, they go to 2, they'd have to go like Ritual, Metamorphose, Gifts. All right, we're gonna fire this. See if they scoop to this. Okay, they do scoop, yeah. All right, so that was Bant Rhinos in Modern. We got the 401, which is pretty sweet. Unfortunate we lost the first match, but it's all right. So a couple things about this deck. Playing without the Scion package, I really missed Tishana's Tidebinder. Tishana's was really sweet this league. I love being able to play at instant speed for the most part. What I didn't like about this version was the Solitudes. So we never really got to cast Solitude. We really didn't draw it that much. It didn't do too much. We never got to hard cast Solitude. Anytime we wanted to use it, we just had to pitch cast it, which felt really bad. So just going off this league, I really don't want to play Solitude. If we want to replace Solitude, you can play Teferi, you can play Flame of Anor. I think any of those would be fine also. But for the main deck, it felt good going back to our roots. As for the sideboard, I thought the sideboard was fine. Again, it has a little bit of everything, so we got to bring in a few things here and there. Didn't get to utilize the sideboard cards too much that league, but I think they're fine for what they are. In the end, if I have to choose whether to play the Scion package or not, I think I'm going with the Scion package. As much as I love Tidebinder, maybe we can find a way to squeeze her into the Scion list. But that'll do it for me. Thanks so much for watching. If you're not subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. Peace.